The scariest team in the NBA next season isn't Denver, it's not OKC, it's definitely not Boston. It's a team that just pulled off the largest trade in NBA history, landed a two-time Finals MVP, and already has a 23-year-old All-Star who quietly led his squad in all 5 major statistical categories last year. A team that was already a top 4 defense, and just got even scarier. Yeah, the Houston Rockets aren't just coming, they're here. If you think that's an exaggeration, buckle up, because this is the story of how one of the league's youngest franchises transformed from a 17-win disaster into a championship-ready juggernaut in under 3 seasons, and why Kevin Durant's arrival might make them the most dangerous team in basketball. Let's rewind just a few years, because it wasn't long ago that the Houston Rockets were at rock bottom. The 2020-21 season, 17 wins. The year after that, 20 wins. Then in 2022-23, 22 wins. Yes, technically that's progress. But in an 82-game season, you're basically winning 1 out of every 4 games. For fans, it wasn't just painful, it was hopeless. The James Harden era had ended in chaos, the roster was young and unfocused, and the team had no clear identity. So in the summer of 2023, Houston decided to rip the Band-Aid off. They didn't just shuffle the roster, they reset the entire culture. The hire, Ime Udoka, a defensive-minded, no-nonsense coach who had already proven in Boston that he could take a young, talented team and whip them into a contender. Fast. From day one, Udoka made it clear this was no longer a franchise that would accept losing as part of the rebuild. Practices got tougher, film sessions were sharper, mistakes weren't glossed over, they were addressed head-on. And for a young roster that had been coasting through meaningless seasons, it was exactly the wake-up call they needed. The results? Immediate. Matched up against the Golden State Warriors, Houston's offensive flaws were exposed. Golden State clogged the paint, dared them to hit threes, and turned every half-court possession into a grind. The Rockets shot just 5 for 17 from deep in Game 7 and managed a pitiful 78 points per 100 half-court possessions, worse than the worst regular season offense in the league. Their defense could hang with anyone, but their half-court scoring, nowhere near championship level. Udoka said it best. We always want more. Selfish, greedy, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's goal is to be better and come back better. And the Rockets didn't just talk about it, they acted. Some franchises would panic after a playoff loss like that, blow things up, overreact. Houston didn't. They knew they were close. First step, keep the band together. Fred VanVleet re-signed, Steven Adams re-signed, veterans like Aaron Holiday, Jeff Green, and Jae'Sean Tate all returned. Even Jabari Smith Jr., still just 21, got a new deal. Ime Udoka inked a long-term extension. Stability, something this franchise hadn't had in years, was finally here. Then came the bold move. No, scratch that, the historic move. In a 7-team, 13-player blockbuster, the Rockets landed Kevin Durant. Yes, that Kevin Durant. 2-time Finals MVP, 4-time scoring champ, top 10 scorer in NBA history. To get him, Houston gave up Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and a haul of picks and swaps. Painful? Sure. But for a team ready to win now, it was the kind of swing you take without hesitation. And in a move that was pure Rockets DNA, they also brought back Clint Capella, the rebounding monster from their Harden era. Pair him with Adams and Alperen Sengun, and you've got the nastiest offensive rebounding trio in the league. Let's be real. This is about KD. Even at 36, Durant is still a walking 27 points a night. Last season in Phoenix, a dysfunctional, unhappy team, he still averaged 26.6 points on elite efficiency. Over his career, 27.2 points, 7 rebounds, and a ridiculous shooting profile that's barely declined with age. But it's not just the numbers, it's how he gets them. Durant can score in any system against any defense, from anywhere on the floor. He's the ultimate half-court weapon, exactly what Houston didn't have in the playoffs. Zone defense, he'll rise up from the elbow, switch a smaller defender onto him, fadeaway jumper, play him tight, he'll pull up from 3. Historically, his presence boosts his team's shooting efficiency by around 6 percentage points. That's not small, that's season-altering. The fit in Houston is tantalizing. Sengun's low post passing, Thompson's slashing, Van Vliet's shooting, all orbiting around one of the greatest scorers of all time. Sure, his usage will be sky high and others will get fewer touches, but when the game slows down in May and June, you want the ball in Kevin Durant's hands. Durant wasn't the only major addition. In free agency, Houston quietly stole Dorian Finney-Smith from the Lakers. 4 years, $53 million for one of the best 3-and-D wings in the game. Finney-Smith's shooting is exactly what Houston needed. Last year, he hit over 42% from the corners and nearly 40% above the break. Against zone defenses, that's gold. It turns long, grinding possessions into quick, clean shots. Defensively, he can guard 1 through 4, crash the glass, and switch without hesitation. He's the kind of role player championship teams always seem to have. Think Bruce Bowen with a better jumper. And for Houston, he's the perfect complement to Durant. Space the floor on offense, lock down wings on defense, and never need the ball to be effective. If you're only watching the stars, you might miss Houston's biggest X factor, Reed Sheppard, the number. Third pick in the 2024 draft, barely played early in his rookie season. Instead, he tore up the G League with the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, showing off deep shooting range and high IQ passing. Late in the season, with playoff seeding on the line, he got his chance. Against the Lakers and Clippers, both desperate for wins, Sheppard dropped a combined 34 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds, hitting 10 of 18 from deep. Then came Summer League. Sheppard didn't just fill the box score, he led huddles, called out defensive rotations, and looked like a seasoned vet. Houston's coaches wanted to see if he could run the team's offense, and he passed every test. With Durant drawing double teams, Sheppard could feast as a spot-up shooter. And on a team with this much defensive length, his weaknesses on that end will be easier to hide. Last year, Houston was already a top 5 defense. Now, they might be number 1. Imagine this lineup: Amen Thompson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., and Clint Capella. Switch everything. Trap ball handlers, protect the rim. Good luck scoring. Or go smaller: Van Vliet, Thompson, Durant, Smith, Sengun. Now you've got spacing, shot creation, and still enough length to bother anyone. Udoka now has the personnel to play any style: big, small, fast, slow. They can match OKC's pace or grind Denver into half-court battles. And the depth means no one has to play 40 minutes in January just to steal a regular season win. 3 years ago, the Rockets were a punchline. Now they're being mentioned in the same breath as the West's elite. The blueprint feels similar to OKC: stockpile young talent, develop it, then strike when the time is right. Except Houston might be moving even faster. The combination of veteran championship DNA, Durant, Van Vliet, Adams, emerging stars, Sengun, Thompson, Smith, and fearless youth, Sheppard, is rare. And with a coach like Udoka, complacency isn't an option. If everything clicks, they're not just contenders next year. This could be the start of something much bigger, the early chapters of a dynasty. The Houston Rockets check every box: elite defense, superstar scorer, deep bench, smart coach, hungry young core. They aren't a fun young team anymore. They're a problem. And the rest of the league better get ready, because if you're not careful, the Rockets will cook you. So here's the question: do you think Houston has enough to dethrone the Thunder in the West this season? Drop your take in the comments and don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be tracking every step of their run.